Professor Young's The Evolution Theory from the Viewpoint of Christianity, the thorough analysis of the descent or origin of man. Lecture 19, Chapter 13, Secondary Sexual Characters of Birds. Bird class is extremely big one. Secondary sexual characters are more diversified and conspicuous in this class, though not perhaps entailing more important changes of structure than in any other class of animals. Male birds sometimes, though rarely, possess special weapons for fighting with each other. They charm the female by vocal or instrumental music of the most varied kinds. They are ornamented by all sorts of combs, wattles, protuberances, horns, distended sacks, top knots, naked shafts, plumes, and lengthened feathers gracefully spring from all parts of the body. The beak and naked skin about the head and the feathers are often gorgeously colored. The males sometimes pay their courts by dancing or by fantastic antics performed either on the ground or in the air. In one instance, at least, the male emits a musky odor, which we may suppose serves to charm or excite the female. Mr. Ramsay says of the Australian musk duck that the smell which the male emits during the summer months is confined to that sex, and in some individuals is retained throughout the year. I have never, even in the breeding season, shot a female which had any smell of musk. So powerful is this odor during the pairing season that it can be detected long before the bird can be seen. On the whole, birds appear to be the most aesthetic of all animals, excepting of course man, and they have nearly the same taste for the beautiful as we have. Before treating of the sexual characters with which we are here more concerned, I may just allude to certain differences between the sexes, which apparently depends on differences in their habits of life. For such cases, though common in the lower, are rare in the higher classes. Two hummingbirds belonging to the genus Eustephanus, which inhabit the island of Juan Fernandez, were long thought to be specially distinct, but are now known to be the male and female of the same species, and they differ slightly in the form of the beak. In the neomorpha of New Zealand, there is, as we have seen, a still wide difference in the form of the beak in relation to the manner of feeding of the two sexes. With a slight difference of this kind as a foundation, we can see how the beaks of the two sexes might be made to differ greatly through natural selection. In some of the above cases, however, it is possible that the beaks of the males may have been first modified in relation to their contests with other males, and that this afterwards led to slightly changed habits of life. Almost all male birds are extremely pugnacious, using their beaks, wings, and legs for fighting together. The smallest of all birds, namely the hummingbird, is one of the most quarrelsome. Two males rarely meet without a fierce aerial encounter. When kept in cage, their fighting has mostly ended in the splitting of the tongue of one of the two, which then surely dies from being unable to feed. With waders, the males of the common water hen, when pairing, fight violently for the females. They stand nearly upright in the water and strike with their feet. Two were seen to be thus engaged for half an hour, until one got hold of the head of the other, which would have been killed had not the observer interfered, the female all the time looking on as a quiet spectator. The males of many birds are larger than the females, and this no doubt is the result of the advantage gained by the larger and stronger males over their rivals during many generations. The males of many gallinaceous birds, especially of the polygamous kinds, are furnished with special weapons for fighting with their rivals, namely spurs, which can be used with fearful effect. In Derbyshire, a kite struck at a game hen accompanied by her chickens when cock rushed to the rescue and drove his spur right through the eye and skull of the aggressor. The spur was with difficulty drawn from the skull, and as the kite, though dead, retained his grasp, the two birds were firmly locked together. But the cock fan disentangled was very little injured. Hence spurs may be considered as a masculine structure which has been occasionally more or less transferred to the females. Like most other secondary sexual characters, the spurs are highly variable, both in number and development in the same species. The season of love is that of battle, but the males of the some birds, as of the game-fowl and ruff, and even the young males of the wild turkey and grouse, are ready to fight whenever they meet. The presence of the female is the teterrima belli causa, but in some cases the pairing precedes instead of succeeding the combat. Several males of the Virginia goatsucker caught in a highly entertaining manner the female, and no sooner has she made her choice than her approval gives chase to all intruders and drives them beyond his dominions. Generally, the males try to drive away or kill their rivals before they pair. It does not, however, appear that the females invariably prefer the victorious males. With birds, the voice serves to express various emotions, such as distress, fear, anger, triumph, or mere happiness. The true song, however, of most birds and various strange cries are chiefly uttered during the breeding season, and serve as a charm or merely as a cold note to the other sex. The males of songbirds and of many others do not in general search for the female, but on the contrary, their business in the spring is to perch on some conspicuous spot, breathing out their full and amorous notes, which by instinct the female knows, and repair to the spot to choose her mate. Shalom Aleichem.